Alright guys, we are reacting to using AI to make bosses more interesting in video games. I have no idea what this is about, but I am curious, so let's see the video.
Welcome to Mir 5, the Mir series game introducing Asterion, the world's first AI boss monster built with NVIDIA ACE.
Okay.
A script-based boss monster follows predictable patterns, regardless of who the opponents are.
Sure.
As a result, players can easily anticipate and counter the boss's attacks, making the encounter less exciting and reducing it to a tedious task to acquire items. But Asterion is no ordinary boss.
I can already see where this is going. I think I'm not a fan of this, but let's finish the video because it's pretty short.
Artificial intelligence enables Asterion to analyze the player's information, identify unique skills of each player, and determine who to attack first. Asterion recalls past battles similar to the current situation. It then determines the most probable course of action to achieve victory. Asterion adapts, attacking with unpredictable patterns. It cannot be defeated twice with the same strategy. Welcome to Mir 5. Are you ready to face Asterion?
I'll be honest, I think most people don't want this. It sounds really cool to have bosses who have adapting AI, who like adapt to the situation, get stronger, better, counter your plays. But in all reality, people actually want to win boss fights. So I think people would be more frustrated than anything. I think one of the satisfactions to playing games that you kill really big bosses on is learning their movement patterns, learning how to beat them, and then feeling that really big dump of like adrenaline and feel-good hormones when you do pull it off. Like, okay, when he does that move, I'm gonna block and then I'm gonna, sweep into overhead strike or whatever you use. If all of a sudden you block and he does a different move, you don't get that same satisfaction of I learned the fight, I got better, I overcame the fight. It's just, well, that's not fair. His skill set's better than mine. He's just going to keep beating me. And if you're able to beat him, that means they have to intentionally design the enemy to be beatable, which means the move kit of the enemy can never be too strong. If you take it like if you take a normal boss you fight these days in a normal video game with no AI, they are able to make bosses extremely powerful while giving them vulnerabilities, right? That's a lot of fun. Because it starts off feeling impossible, and as you learn the fight, you find ways to overcome the impossible. What is the alternative with AI? Well, you gotta make them really weak and adaptable, because if they're really strong with vulnerabilities, guess what? They're just not gonna expose the vulnerabilities and you're screwed, you can't win. So boss design would have to be different. They would have to make the boss's abilities more fair. Like, think of it from a point of PvP. In a PvP game, if you make one overpowered character, he's never going to lose because he's going to learn to be good enough to never lose because he's overpowered. I would much rather have overpowered bosses with vulnerabilities you learn and overcome than balanced bosses that are just like similar to you in power level and just getting better and better. I think when it comes to like AI in games, I think one of the more interesting ones would be stories that are generated on the spot based on what you do. I think that's the future of AI in video games, where you do something weird in the world and the characters and the NPCs learn from that, remember that. Oh, you killed that little goblin on the road. Well, next time you talk to the NPC over there, maybe he's a goblin NPC. Hey, you killed my friend. I'm not trading with you. Or, I'm going to raise the prices of my goods because you killed my cousin. That kind of stuff is really cool because you can't write all of that into the code. You can't generate an infinite story based on everything you do in the world. But if the story slowly adapts over time, that is awesome. I think that's the future of AI. Bosses that adapt, I don't think so. I think that's a negative. I think people would have, even though it sounds really cool, the only reason it sounds cool is because everybody thinks they're a god gamer. You guys remember what happened with Elden Ring, the expansion, when people couldn't finish it? So many people cried it was too hard. Now imagine if it was so hard that the boss just learns and gets perfect. I mean, no. I just think this is not it. But AI on NPCs for sure. Really cool future. Just, this is not the implementation I think people want. But you know, I could be wrong. Do you guys disagree with me? If you have any other thoughts, if you think I'm wrong, if you have any other angle to look at it from, let me know in the comments.